I never thought I'd be saying this, but the iPhone 17 Pro Max might actually be the best iPhone Apple has ever made. And yes, that's coming from someone who used to roll their eyes at iPhones, calling them overpriced, underpowered, and late to the party with features Android phones had years earlier. But with the 17 Pro Max, Apple finally feels like it's catching up, and in some areas, even leading again. So why does this matter? Well, because Apple's reputation for innovation has been shaky for years. Stubborn 60 Hz displays, tiny batteries, sluggish charging speeds, and outdated 12-megapixel cameras all made iPhones look like they were stuck in the past compared to their Chinese and Korean rivals. Yet millions of people still refuse to leave the Apple ecosystem. Now, for once, those loyal Apple users finally have a flagship that feels worthy of its $1,199 price tag. Let's start with that price, because it's the first big surprise. For 6 years straight, Apple hasn't raised the cost of its Pro Max models. Back in 2019, the iPhone 11 Pro Max actually cost $1,249 for the 256GB version. Fast forward to 2025, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max still starts at $1,199 for the same storage. Considering how everything else, from groceries to gaming PCs, has gone up, Apple holding steady is a rare win for consumers. Sure, $1,200 is still a lot of money, but in relative terms, today's Pro Max actually feels like a better deal than it did 6 years ago. Now, let's talk battery. This is the one area where I've always thought Apple played it too safe. Android phones have been flexing with 6,000 or even 7,000 mAh monsters, while iPhones barely cracked the 4,000 mark. But this time, Apple is stepping up. The iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in two flavors: the standard 4,823 mAh version and the eSIM-only model with a beefy 5,088 mAh battery. Combine that with Apple's famously efficient software, and you're looking at one of the longest-lasting iPhones ever. Charging speeds are finally getting a bump too. Not as crazy as the 100-watt charging you see on Chinese flagships, but still faster than the old snail pace. For once, iPhone users won't be tethered to a charger as often. Next up, cameras. Apple has been stubborn here too, holding on to small sensors for way too long. But the iPhone 17 Pro Max finally levels up. All three rear cameras now rock 48-megapixel sensors, and the telephoto in particular has had a huge upgrade. We're talking a 56% larger sensor than before, plus a new 4x zoom lens that can digitally stretch to 8x. That means sharper portraits, more detail at a distance, and an overall leap forward for Apple photography. And yes, there's even a fun little trick on the front camera: landscape selfies while holding the phone vertically. It sounds silly, but it's actually clever thanks to a new square sensor that allows both orientations without awkward workarounds. Not exactly a pro feature, but handy in real life. Performance is another highlight. Apple introduced a vapor chamber cooling system for the first time, something Android phones have used for years. This keeps the new A19 Pro chip running cooler and faster, with up to 40% better sustained performance than last year's A18 Pro. That means console-level gaming, advanced AI processing, and heavy workloads without your phone overheating. The A19 Pro's 6-core CPU and GPU, paired with a 16-core neural engine, are designed to push ray tracing and AI-driven features to new heights. Basically, it's not just fast, it's consistently fast. Design-wise, well, this one's subjective. Apple has gone for a redesign with what it calls the plateau, a massive new camera island that dominates the back. Some will call it ugly, others will say it's bold. Personally, I think it doesn't matter much. Phones spend most of their lives in pockets or cases. But for those who care about appearances, at least it's something fresh instead of another copy-paste design. So, is the iPhone 17 Pro Max the phone to buy? If you're already in the Apple ecosystem, absolutely. It finally fixes the pain points that made iPhones feel outdated: weak battery, sluggish charging, limited zoom, and thermal throttling. For $1,199, you're getting the most complete iPhone experience Apple has ever offered. Of course, if you're on Android, there are still incredible alternatives: cheaper flagships with bigger batteries, faster charging, and even better cameras. But if you're the type who's sticking with Apple no matter what, the choice is clear. Don't waste time on the vanilla iPhone 17 or even the smaller 17 Pro. For just $100 more, the 17 Pro Max gives you the big screen, the bigger battery, and the best overall performance. As for me, Am I an Apple boy now? Not exactly. I still think Apple plays it safe in many areas, and I'd always appreciate the bold experiments happening in the Android world. But credit where it's due. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is the first Apple flagship in years that feels exciting, and that's worth celebrating. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.